Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Boost English Skill podcast.
Your daily English boost. It's so good to be here with you again.
It really is. And a special hello to you, John.
Hello, Luna. Always a pleasure. You know, I was just thinking how cozy it feels to record today.
It does. Maybe it's the topic. It feels important, but also very human.
Yes, very human. For our listeners, we are Luna and John, and we're here to have a calm conversation with you in English.
Today, we're going to talk about something we all face. The episode is called Handling Criticism.
And we've marked this as a B1 or B1 level conversation. That means clear, natural sentences and everyday storytelling.
But, as always, if you're a strong beginner, maybe an A1 or A2 level, please don't worry.
That's right. This conversation is perfect for you to just listen to get used to the sound and structure of English. Enjoy it like you're listening to music.
Before we begin, a quick and friendly reminder. If you enjoy our conversations, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast. It helps us so much.
It really does. Thank you. So, criticism. Luna, what's the first word or feeling that comes to your mind?
The first feeling? I think it's a little jump in my stomach, a small shock.
Aha, yes, that physical reaction. That moment when someone says, "Can I give you some feedback?" or just tells you directly what you did wrong.
Exactly. My heart beats a little faster, even if the person is being nice, you know?
I know completely. It's like your body prepares for an attack, but most of the time, it's not an attack at all.
That's true, but our brains, they go to the worst place first, don't they? I failed. They don't like me. I'm not good enough.
They really do. It's almost automatic. I was thinking about why that is. Maybe from a long, long time ago, being criticized by the group meant danger.
Wow, that's an interesting way to see it. So our reaction is old, like an ancient alarm system.
Yes, a very loud, dramatic alarm system for what is usually a small conversation.
I love that, a dramatic alarm. So the first step, maybe, is to recognize the alarm is ringing, to notice that feeling in your stomach.
Yes, to take a breath and maybe even say to yourself, "Okay, my ancient alarm is ringing. Let me see what is actually happening here."
That's a great idea, because not all criticism is the same. There are different types with completely different purposes.
For sure. Can we try to name them, the different kinds?
Let's do it. I think the first kind, and maybe the hardest, is what I call angry criticism. It's not about helping. It's about someone expressing their own frustration.
Yes, and it often feels personal. The words might be about your work, but the feeling behind them is anger. It's hot and sharp.
It is. And your instinct might be to become angry back, to defend yourself strongly, or to run away and hide.
Both are natural, but I found that with this type, the person is often not in a place to listen. So sometimes the best thing is to not engage in that moment.
You mean not to argue right then?
Exactly. You can say something very simple and calm, like, "I hear you're upset. Let's talk about this later when we can both focus." It doesn't mean you agree, it just means you're choosing the battlefield.
Choosing the battlefield, that's powerful. It gives you control back. You don't have to fight on their terms in their angry moment.
Right. And often when they calm down, the criticism either disappears or becomes something you can actually talk about.
That's so true. Now, the second type is almost the opposite. It's constructive criticism, the one meant to help you grow.
This is the one we say we want, but it can still feel difficult to hear.
Oh, yes. Someone can say, "I have some constructive feedback for you," in the kindest voice, and my ancient alarm still goes ding, ding, ding.
Mine too, but the difference is in the goal. The goal here is to help you improve something. It's about the action, not the person.
Can you give an example? Maybe from learning English, since that's something our listeners understand.
Of course. Let's say you're practicing speaking with a friend, and your friend says, Your story was really interesting. I understood it. But I noticed you used the past tense sometimes and the present tense sometimes. For that story, we usually use all past tense.
Okay, my first feeling might be, oh no, my grammar is terrible. But if I listen past the feeling,
The friend said your story was interesting and understandable first. That's important. And then they pointed to one specific thing you can improve: tense consistency. It's a gift, really.
it's a map. They're saying, here is a path to be even clearer next time. It's not saying you are bad at English.
Exactly. It's about separating yourself from the skill. You are not your grammar mistake. You are a person learning who made a very common error.
That separation is so hard, but so important. I'm curious, for our listeners, how does this feel? When you get correction in English, does it feel personal?
Feel free to share that in the comments if you like. We read them all and we love hearing from you.
So we have angry criticism and constructive criticism. Is there a third type?
I think there is a very sneaky one. It's the offhand comment, the little thing someone says without thinking.
Oh, those are dangerous because they seem small, but they can stay in your mind for years.
Yes, like a colleague saying, "Oh, you always organize meetings in that way," with a little smile. Or a friend saying, "That's a brave outfit choice."
Brave outfit choice. That's a classic. And you spend the whole day wondering, does it look bad? Are they laughing at me?
Right, and the person probably forgot they said it 5 minutes later. The challenge with these is to decide, is this actually useful information or is it just noise?
Most of the time, it's just noise. If it's not said with care and it's not about something important, maybe we can learn to let it go, to imagine it floating away like a leaf.
I love that image, letting the unimportant comments just float away. It takes practice, but it saves so much mental energy.
It does. Now, let's talk about what we do when we receive criticism, especially the constructive kind. What are the steps?
Well, we said the first step is to notice your reaction, the stomach jump, the alarm, and to breathe.
Okay, step 1, breathe. Don't react immediately.
Step 2, I think, is to listen, really listen, to try and understand the point, not just the feeling. Sometimes we are so busy preparing our defense in our heads that we don't hear the words.
That is so true. So maybe even repeat it back in a calm way.
Yes, you can say, "Okay, so if I understand, you're saying that my report was good, but the introduction could be shorter and clearer. Is that right?"
That does two things. First, it makes sure you really understand. Second, it shows the other person you are listening, which calms the whole conversation.
And it gives you a moment to think. Step 3 is to thank them,
Even if it hurts?
especially if it hurts and it's constructive. You can say, "Thank you for sharing that with me," or "Thank you for the feedback." It doesn't mean you agree with everything. It means you acknowledge they took the time to try and help.
That's a powerful habit. It ends the conversation on a positive note, and it actually makes you feel more in control, more professional.
It does. Step 4 is the private step. After the conversation, you can decide what to do with the information.
Ah, the evaluation. Is this feedback true? Even a little bit? Do I respect this person's opinion? Is this something I want to change?
Exactly. Maybe only 20% of it is useful. You take that 20% and you use it. You ignore the rest. Or maybe you realize it's 100% right and you have a clear plan to improve.
And sometimes you decide it's not right for you at all, and that's okay too. You considered it and you made a choice.
That's the key. You move from being a passive receiver of criticism to an active manager of feedback. You are in charge.
I'm thinking about how this connects to learning English. We get feedback all the time from teachers, from language apps, from friends.
We do, and if we can see it as a map and not an attack, it changes everything. Every little correction is just a signpost saying this way to clearer communication.
That's a beautiful way to see it. It makes me less afraid to speak, honestly, because mistakes are just signposts.
They really are.
And this is the kind of everyday English we use when talking about real life. Listening to conversations like this really helps your ear get used to natural flow.
It does. Let's talk about giving criticism too, because sometimes we are on the other side.
That's just as delicate, isn't it? How to give feedback without starting that ancient alarm in someone else.
I have a simple rule I try to follow. I call it the feedback sandwich. Maybe people have heard of it.
The feedback sandwich? Tell me.
You start with something positive and true, the first piece of bread. Like, John, I really enjoyed the story you told in the meeting today.
Okay, I'm listening.
Then you give the constructive part, the filling. I had a little trouble hearing you when you turned towards the window. The sound was softer.
A specific small thing to improve.
Exactly. Then you end with another positive, the second piece of bread. But the content was excellent, and I'm really glad you shared it.
So it's positive, constructive, positive. The person doesn't feel destroyed, they feel supported, but with a clear hint for next time.
Yes, the criticism is wrapped in care. It's not always perfect, but it's a good place to start.
I like that. It shows you see the whole person, not just the one mistake.
Exactly. What about online criticism? That's a whole different world now.
Oh, the internet, the land of the angry anonymous comment. This is where our ancient alarm goes completely crazy.
It does, because it's often pure angry criticism, and it's written forever for everyone to see.
My rule for online criticism is very strict. I ask myself one question. Do I know and respect this person?
And if the answer's no?
I do not engage. I almost never read the comments on public posts, especially if it's about a sensitive topic. It is just noise, dangerous noise for your mind.
That's very wise. It's not feedback. It's often just people shouting their own pain into the void.
Yes, and your mental peace is more important than winning an argument with a stranger you'll never meet.
So we protect ourselves. We choose what we listen to. That's a big part of handling criticism, isn't it? Choosing your sources?
It's everything. Imagine you have a committee in your head. You get to choose who is on that committee, your wise friend, a good teacher, an author you admire, not the angry stranger on the bus or the rude online comment.
I love that. I'm firing a few members of my mental committee right now.
Do it. It feels great. So we've talked about receiving and giving, but there's one more critic we haven't mentioned.
Oh, the most constant one.
Ourselves, our own inner critic, that voice that says you could have done better. That was stupid. They probably think you're not smart.
That voice is so loud sometimes, and it's not even constructive. It's just mean.
It is mean, and we would never talk to a friend that way. So one exercise I try is to talk to myself like a friend.
Can you give an example?
If I make a mistake speaking English, my inner critic might say, "You still make that basic error, you'll never be fluent."
Ouch.
Right, so I try to stop and say, like a friend would, "Hey, you made a mistake. It's okay, everyone does. You remembered the correct way now, so that's progress. Next time will be better."
That's so much kinder. It's acknowledging the mistake without the global attack. You made a mistake is different from you are a mistake.
Exactly. It's treating yourself with the same compassion you'd use for the feedback sandwich. A little positive, acknowledge the issue, a little positive.
This is honestly helping me just talking about it. It's making the whole topic feel less scary, more manageable.
Me too. It's a skill like anything else. You don't start being good at handling criticism. You practice.
With small moments, maybe someone says your coffee order took too long to make, and you feel that jump, and you practice breathing, listening, and deciding if it's useful.
Yes, start small and celebrate when you handle a moment better than you did last time. That's progress.
I'm thinking about our listeners again. I wonder if they have a story of criticism they handled well, or a time it was really difficult.
If you feel comfortable, share it with us in the comments. We learn so much from each other's stories.
We really do. You know, John, after all this talk, I feel like the heart of it is separation.
Separation. Tell me more.
Separating the action from the person, separating the useful feedback from the noise, separating your worth from your mistakes. It's all about creating a little space between the thing that happened and who you are.
That little space is everything. In that space, you have room to breathe, to think, to choose your response. That's where your power is.
Yes, the criticism happens, but in that space, you are not the criticism. You are the person observing it, deciding what to do with it.
Beautifully said. It turns a moment of potential pain into a moment of choice.
And often, the choice can lead to growth, to being a little better, a little clearer, a little stronger than before.
That's the goal, isn't it? Not to avoid criticism, but to learn how to let it help you grow without letting it hurt your heart.
I think that's a perfect place to slowly start wrapping up. John, thank you for this conversation. It felt very supportive.
Thank you, Luna. I always feel better after we talk.
And thank you, dear listener, for spending this time with us. We hope you found something useful or comforting here today.
We truly do. Remember, this is the Boost English Skill podcast. If you enjoyed this calm conversation, please help us by liking, subscribing, and sharing it with one friend who might need it.
It makes a huge difference for us, and it helps more people find a friendly place to practice their English listening.
Be kind to yourselves this week. Practice a little self-compassion, and we will be back here soon with another conversation.
Until then, take care, keep learning, and remember,
You've got this.
goodbye, everyone.
Bye for now.